What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Now, do you want to learn how to build one of these? If you do, watch this video because I'm going to go step by step on how to build a kicker. Let's get started. First things first, tools. The tools you're going to need is a drill, a saw or a drop saw, an impact driver, or you can use your same drill just with a Phillips head bit or whatever bit you need for your screws, some drill bits, a tape measure, a pencil. Now, I highly recommend using a pencil, not a pen, because if you need to rub something out, it's much easier to do so. And your screws. And last but not least, a level. Now, we're not leveling anything, but we're just going to use this as a straight edge to mark our lines. All right, so the last things you're going to need is obviously the wood. Now, we can't do anything without it. So what I'm going to use for the framing is a 90 by 35 millimeter pine piece of timber. Now, that is perfectly strong enough to do this kind of work. You can get treated pine, but I'm personally just going to bring this ramp inside it after hours anyway, so it's not going to get wet. Now, with the plywood, we're going to use a 12 mil sheet of ply. And then for the steel, I've got a 1.2 mil piece of steel. That'll be for the base of the ramp, so that way we can easily transition onto it. You want to use as much stuff as you can that you can find cheap or free. Now, I don't recommend stealing anything, but you can definitely go to job sites and ask people that are on the site if they have any scraps, and usually they'll be happy to give you stuff. All right, so the next step would be to lay your plywood out on the table and mark your ramp. Now, it's all completely up to you what size you want to build it. What I've done is I've made it 1 meter long and 230 mil high. What you want to do is once you've got it all marked out, you're going to end up having it where there's a big point at the end. You want to cut that off. So the way to do that is you want to find yourself a block of timber that you're going to use as your ribs. And then you want to end up putting that at the end of the ramp to the point where it's the same thickness from your side of your rib to the plywood, and then you want to cut that off square. So what you're going to do is you're basically eliminating the weak point of the plywood, but then when you run your sheet on top, it's going to run to the floor and be strong anyway, so that's completely fine. The ramp that we're using here is going to be like this, to the point where I've made it a little bit of a bevel here. So what that's going to be good for is we're going to be able to use this as a bit of a wally on this side, so we can come up, bash our trucks into this side and be able to go over it. Now, you definitely want to have one in the bottom at the very front, one at the back, as well as one on the top in the front corner. The way you want to orientate your ribs are vertical, never horizontal. Now, when I say never, there are times where you have to use it. So where it's a lot skinnier down here, this is where you're going to use one horizontal, and then the rest you're going to use vertical. So reason for that, the way a stud or a rib is made, it's a lot stronger down the skinnier face than it is the wider face. Now, if you were to put a piece of timber that's long enough and lay it flat and stand on it this way, it's going to bend. But if you stand it up on its side and you stand up here, don't do that because you can fall pretty easy, but you'll notice that this won't bend at all. And that's the way these have been designed to be used. All right, so what I've done is we've got our ribs all marked out. You grab your block and you trace around it to make it easier for later on when you're installing them. And then what you want to do as well, and I've already gone ahead and done this myself just to make it a bit quicker, but you want to pre-drill all the holes so that way it's a lot easier for you to put the screws in and get it going. If you're not comfortable doing any of this with the tools, definitely ask someone that's an adult or at least someone that's very confident with this stuff, because these are very dangerous to the point where you can cut limbs off, and I don't recommend that because I haven't done it yet, but I can imagine it's not fun. So let's get started with assembling our ramp. Now, this is the exciting part. It's going to start looking like a ramp now. So what you want to do is you want to get your sides, lay them out, and then grab your ribs. Now, what we've gone is we've worked out we're going to need 6 ribs, so I've cut 6 the length already. With the screws, all you need is timber screws, and I'm just using an 8 gauge, and I think they're 45 millimeters. A quick thing you can do to make it go faster and a lot easier, load up your screws into the plywood before you start screwing it all in. All right, so you want to load them up like this. It just makes it a lot quicker in the next step to be able to screw them all together. All right, so now we're going to start with one of our ribs. I recommend starting on the bottom one at the front. That way it lines it all up and holds it all together. Now, you definitely want to make sure everything is nice and flush perfectly. And the reason for that is, if it's not, you're going to end up putting it on something that's a nice flat surface and it's going to warp a little bit and wobble. If you can eliminate it as much as you can, that'll be great. And we'll grab this side as well. Now, I'd always start on the very end and then the very end on the other side, because that way when you get to doing the middles, if it's tight enough, they'll end up sitting in there by themselves without falling out. Then you can go across and do all the tops. Another quick tip that can help you, if they do want to fall and it's a bigger ramp, you can always get the top screws of each of one side and screw them in so they're sticking out a tiny bit. And what that'll do is that'll hold that bit of timber up for you while you're doing this side. All right, once you're at this stage, you can stand it up now and then keep screwing them in. Perfect. Now the next step will be to mark out our top piece and we'll get that cut out. All right, so a quick tip that you can use to measure the top piece of the board is grab a level or something straight, can be a piece of timber, anything that's straight, put it on your ramp, slide it down to where it hits the floor, and then grab your tape measure and measure from where that hits the floor to the very end. And we've got 1150 millimeters, and our width is gonna be exactly 800, which is what I wanted. All right, so our plywood comes at a standard of 1200 millimeters by 2.4 millimeters. And like I said, what we need is 1150 millimeters by 800. So the best way to do that is to work out exactly what you're gonna cut so you don't waste anything. Because our board is 1200 millimeters wide this way, and we only need 1150, start by measuring our width, which is 800, and then come around to the other side and do the same thing. And then we'll grab our straight edge or our level, put that across, mark that. And then what we're gonna do is mark our top piece, which is 1150. And same over here. Now, like I said, I highly recommend if you don't know how to use one of these tools or you're not confident, because these are very dangerous, definitely get someone else to help you. And if you are going to do it, make sure you're using PPE. So PPE stands for personal protective equipment, and that just means goggles, glasses, all your protective gear that's going to prevent you from hurting yourself. All right, a little tip. If you are going to cut across the table, grab something and stick it underneath. That way, you're not actually going to cut the table. And then we have our top piece, so we can get rid of this one. All right, so what you can do to start with, you can grab your drill and you can start with putting one screw quickly in the top corner. This will help you be able to line it all up and get it all straight. Now, when you're pre-drilling a screw, you pre-drill it through the top piece, and you don't really want to go through the bottom piece as much as you can. That'll just mean it'll be a lot stronger for the screw to bite into. Now, find your ribs. All you've got to do is look where you've got your screws, because that'll be the indicator of where the ribs are. Now, I'll put one on every end. Now, be sure that you've got to move your screw on top out far enough to where you're not going to hit the screw that's in this wood on the bottom. Now, if you're not able to line it up by eye, just grab your level and just put it on the screws and do it that way. All right, so once you've got all your screws in, then you can decide whether or not you're going to end up putting a piece of plywood on the front face. I will, so I'm going to get that cut out now and get that installed. I am going to use this steel. So this is I think it's about a 110 millimeter wide piece of steel. I would definitely recommend using something a lot wider, probably close to even double the size. The only reason why I'm using this is because I got it for free from a job site. So I went and asked, I saw them on the floor and they said I can have them. So that's great. Like I said, definitely try and do as much as you can for free. It's the best way to do it. But this will be fine. If it does get a little bit frayed or bendy a little bit later on, I'll just upgrade it to a bigger one, but I don't think it will at all. So what you want to do is you want to pre-drill a couple of holes just into the steel and not into the timber. That way, when you're ready to screw them in, you can screw your screws in. Now, another quick tip is we don't want to have our screws sticking up too much to the point where we're going to end up rolling over them, and then that's not going to be great. So what I recommend doing, pre-drilling your holes to a normal size for the screw, but then grabbing another drill bit that is about the same size or a little bit bigger than your screw head, and then drilling out a little bit of that steel to make the screw heads stick down a little bit more. And I'll show you right now what I'm talking about. All we are trying to do is countersink our screws to where they sit a lot flusher. All right, remember all your metal filings do get hot and very sharp, so make sure you don't touch them if you don't have to. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put our piece of steel on the piece of ply, and all we're gonna do is preferably have your skate ramp on something nice and flat. This isn't too bad, so it should be fine. But get yourself to slide it down to the point where it just touches the floor. And then all we're gonna do is put a couple screws in. Another quick tip, I don't physically have any bolts with me at the moment, but I highly recommend using small bolts to a point where you can put a nut on the other side of the ply to really tighten it down. But this is completely fine. This is completely fine for now. Well, there you have it, guys. That's how to build a skate ramp from scratch. Now, it's not that hard, but like I said, if you're not confident using power tools, definitely get an adult to help you and learn from them. Now, if you haven't already subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button because it means a lot. We're nearly at 400 subscribers, which is amazing. Like this video, comment if you've ever built a ramp because I'd like to know, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out, guys. All right, I'll get a couple of little clips on it, but I'm currently in the middle of having a bad ankle. If you've watched my YouTube short, it's from doing my blunt to fakie that I've never done before. So I'm about a week in and my ankle's killing me still. So it's a little bit too big for Mason, but I'll get some rollovers on it. Probably not the tricks you'd love to see on this thing, but wait till I take it to the skate park and let everyone have a shot on it. It's gonna be pretty sick.